That's my time.
Wow.
So,
It took me 2 minutes on this board to get from jump to here.
Oh, Lucifer, you're such a card.
2 minutes.
so did you look up Space Pirates, or excuse me, Ice Pirates?
Not yet.
The movie Ice Pirates. You should totally look up Ice Pirates, because every time I look at you now, it's like the preview for the movie shows up in my head for Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates.
He's giving me a glare now.
Let's see the camera.
The 360 bubble camera. That's the one.
We were talking about space flight and the
Sure
state
were.
of technology today, and the Ice Pirates segue was just entertainment.
SpaceX is the cutting edge, huh? Musk. Huh.
He really is. Right now in Boca Chica, he is making a ship out of stainless steel.
Boca Chica, is that Japan?
Boca Chica?
Where's Boca
It's an
Chica?
island off of Texas.
Oh, really?
It's Boca Chica, Texas.
Boca Chica. What a
Boca
name.
Chica, Texas.
Boca Chica, Texas.
And he was actually he published a little video on Facebook and probably all the services that basically broke down the right way to go into an unpopulated area and talk to the neighbors about, I want to build a rocket on your island. Right? Is he's got an open offer to buy stuff. He's not forcing people out. He went individually to them. He offered them like stock in the company and different things, and because he's wanting to be really cool about
You
it.
need to test the gammas after, like Bikini Islands?
No, the biggest issue with spaceflight is not radiation; it's liquid oxygen and hydrogen in large tanks,
Very bold. That's
and
pretty
and
bold.
mobile. Right? These large tanks, they don't just, if they're going to blow up on the pad, they blow up on the pad, right?
Yeah, you
No,
truck
it doesn't
into the
work like
pad.
that. They can fly off in some random direction because of a mistake in the navigation computer and blow up over your neighborhood. This is why
What the hell are you not?
Risk assessment.
risk assessment. This is why SpaceX mostly does their satellite launches and stuff from a robotic barge in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a long ways away from everybody, because he's thinking about it properly.
The morality factor, yeah.
So
Makes sense to me.
the things that make him top of the hill is you look at payload size
Right,
and per pound or per kilo price.
right.
He's doing the most to bring that price down and to bring that payload size up
Okay.
really fast.
I've
And
heard right around $100,000 per flight for the Branson. Richard Branson? Is it Branson or Brandon?
I'm not onto those numbers right now, but
just
SpaceX
media, mainstream media
SpaceX has got the biggest volume of anybody.
Right.
I'm not even looking at Brandon for that.
Right.
He's
Because you crash
He's the
engine?
kind of-
Oh, fuck.
he's the kind of investor that knows how to turn a Boeing invention into TWA,
Right.
that kind of thing. He doesn't have the development capacity
Right.
in any way, shape, or form like SpaceX does.
Kinda like Warren
SpaceX
Buffett
is
it,
now
yeah.
3D printing
Really?
heavy lift launch motors.
Uh-huh.
The designs are constantly being updated for the
Launch
motors, for
motors?
every part of the entire ship.
3D printing. What's the material that it prints with? I've seen plastic 3D printers.
The
but
one of the
plastic, you got all that.
one of the many popular
You gotta take
material.
heat up to- I mean,
Can I,
rocket
you
fuel
asked me a
10,000,
question? Can I
10,000.
answer it?
I'm trying to think.
You're
of
still
what-
talking
of what
after
type
you've
of
answered-
material-
asked the
wait,
question.
Hold on a minute, man.
Or
Can
you
we have
guess.
dialogue, or do I need to knock your fucking block off with verbal assault? Can I
No.
talk or not?
Well, you asked me a question. It tends to make me want to answer.
What is the material they use that would take that kind of heat?
There's,
This is 3D
and
printer.
I was in the process of
Just tell me
answering.
the material that it uses. What material do they use?
Well, I'd be glad to if you'd quit talking over me.
You have 2 minutes.
Don't pull that shit with me.
I'm
That's
pulling whatever
that's
I want.
annoying.
What do you got?
Okay.
2 minutes to explain the
So
material
there's
they
a
use.
couple of different things that are used in those, and the motors have different components, and different parts will use different materials.
Does
Everything
one
from
3D printer have different materials that it actually uses to make these things?
it is definitely within the realm of possibility.
Is it molecular?
Yes.
Does it start at molecular level?
Um,
That would be a trick.
well, that is not
Be quiet,
necessary for most of this engineering.
How
Okay,
small-
for electronics,
We're
perhaps.
talking about rocket fuel burns at what temp?
I do not know that one.
10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Would you like to know any more about rocket fuel?
And those
What
temperature
type of
ranges are very
material does a
different
3D
depending
printer
on
use to
things
make
like
an
whether you
engine to
use
burn
solid
fuel?
rocket motors, whether you
That's 10,000
use
degrees Fahrenheit, bro. That's
anhydrous
a lot of heat.
ammonia, or you use
400 what?
liquid
400
oxygen
octane
and
is
hydrogen.
rocket fuel. How much knowledge do
Now-
you have about rocket fuel and what temperature it burns at? I have knowledge. It's called 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. What
Okay.
you got? What material do they use?
You just want to argue.
No, I don't.
Now
I
you're
want to
asking a
know about
second
your
question,
knowledge.
and you have not
Knowledge
bothered to
power.
hear this first answer. You don't want a legitimate answer from me. You want an illegitimate answer so you can point at it and say, see, he didn't know.
I don't know.
And that's
Simple.
just fucking annoying.
I don't know is a simple answer to any question. You
Sure it
know that.
is. You don't want an answer.
I want an answer to what type of materials SpaceX uses in the
No, you
3D
don't.
printers to
Or
make
you'd shut
rocket
the fuck
engines,
up.
To make engines for these shuttle type.
And I was
craft.
well into answering that, but you didn't have patience for me.
And
Obviously,
that's
you don't have the
10,000 degrees
patience for a
Fahrenheit of-
10-second answer.
That's rocket fuel. That's high octane, unless they're not using petroleum products.
Yeah. That's all boring now.
No, it's
I don't
not.
like
It's
argumentative
science.
bullshit.
If your engine